Alright, so our event was Beats of Brazil, and I'm just going to be going over the event debriefing with you. So our event took place on March 20th, 2015 at the Centurion Conference and Events Center. Our doors opened from 6 p.m. until 10:30 p.m., and we sold tickets for $50 each. Our goal was to raise around $2,000 to $5,000 with keeping a Brazilian theme consistent throughout the night. We wanted to have about 80 people attend. So here's just the site plan. Basically everything was the exact same. We ended up using the Agora room as a green room for our performers and our volunteers. Basically our attendees walked through the doors here. Registration was set up there. We had our 3 silent auction tables out in the foyer here. We had a bar and a punch bowl area, and then the photo booth actually ended up being in this corner because JP didn't have enough time for us to move the tables, which didn't work out very well because nobody knew about the photo booth. And our balloon pop table was set up in the middle here to kind of create more emphasis on it. And then for our entertainers, we had a 15 person drum group, which was very lively and did awesome with grabbing everybody's attention and bringing them into the room after the parade. We also had a Brazilian kind of jazz live band. We had a samba workshop where everybody got up and were learning some samba moves. We had a couple of Zouk dancers come in, and then our MCs were Patricia and Juliana, and they were both from Brazil, so they worked out perfectly and kind of had the accent and brought along the theme with them. So here are just a couple of event photos. This is our wish speaker here with our MCs, and then here's just the 15-person drum group in the parade going into the room. So our event information, we expected to have around 80 people attend. We actually had 76. We comped around 11 tickets. We sold 2 tickets at the door, and then our online sales consisted of 11 tickets, and then the rest were basically family and friends. And we wanted to have about 15 volunteers show up. However, only 5 ended up showing up, so we had to kind of correspond with them and switch them through each position. And they were really very helpful, which was awesome considering we didn't have enough volunteers for our event. So here are just some of the our comments from their attendees. Here are some surveys asking them what they preferred out of the whole night. Again, if they liked the venue, and then what worked. The venue was awesome. It was a perfect size. They were able to pick up our linens for us the day of, or the day before, and set up the linens for us and make the tables all nice, as we didn't really have transportation. So they were awesome with doing that. Food and beverage was great. All the performers ended up showing up on time and were ready to play. There was no real communication issues. The decor was awesome again. Pearl Decor showed up really early and were setting up the backdrop for us and did all our silent auction tables. And fundraising, all the raffle tickets, or all the wish wands sold as well. Silent auction was closed, no issues. What didn't work, some people had communication issues with the venue manager. I, however, didn't have any problems. He would always come talk to me whenever any of my group members didn't message him or get back to him on time. So I personally didn't have any problems with him. He was fantastic with me. Some people didn't like the food as it was a little bit too spicy for them, but we were using Brazil's national dish, which was basically kind of like a stew, and I guess out of a group you're always going to get some people that don't like the spicy food. For the entertainment, the drum group was a little loud as it kind of amplified in that room, so some people didn't like it. The fundraising, some of the silent auction tables or items went unsold, and then some people had a little bit of negative comments towards some of the items that we had. And then, again, one of the things that didn't work was the photo booth, as it wasn't in a recognized area. So if it would have been in the room, I feel like it would have consisted a lot better. And then here are just some of the comments from our mentors, so Jerry, Kathy, and Nicole. And then our financials, we sold around $3,270 in tickets, $540 in wand sales, about $20 in Wish Star sales. We had $1,955 in our silent auction, We had about $200 in donations, sold around $355 for our raffle, and for our expenses we had to pay $2,800 for the food, which was $35 a guest, and then our technician was $250. So the grand total amount that we ended up donating and giving to the Children's Wish Foundation was $3,000, $340 or $3,340.80.